All right, pregame thoughts, Padres and the Orioles. Obviously, the Orioles, one of the best teams in baseball. They enter tonight with a 61-41 record. Padres are 5 games over 500. They're playing really well at the moment, pitching definitely. Obviously, Dylan Cease with a no-hitter yesterday, and even before that, this is not Adam Mazur who's starting today, but before that too, with Michael King, with Matt Waldron, with Randy Vasquez. Vasquez even had, what was it, 6 shutout innings his last time out. So, been pitching well. Only one loss so far on the road trip, but the Orioles are probably the toughest test. Guardians are one of the best teams too, but the Orioles have, I think, a scarier offense than the Guardians do. And I mean, when you look at this Baltimore Orioles lineup and you got Adam Mazur on the mound, Mazur has surprised us sometimes, but I feel like the Padres, this is the good thing here because there's the day off Monday. It's only a 3-game series. You have the bullpen fully rested because of Dylan Cease's no-hitter yesterday. So that allows the Padres to probably have a little bit more of a short leash on Adam Mazur, and he goes one time, maybe one and a half, whatever, 2 times only through the lineup, and then you can go with other guys in the bullpen because after today, I believe it's King and Vasquez in the last 2 games of the series before a day off, and King, he, for the most part, consistently, right, as of late, unless I'm just totally blanking on his last few starts, he's been going quality starts here, giving you 6 innings. And don't know totally what Vasquez will give you on Sunday, but if the Padres, just if they're in a situation where they have a lead early, they get a lead on Grayson Rodriguez, go try to win that game. Worry about what happens in the next 2 games when that time comes. Try to go win this game. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be interested in seeing how Mike Schilt, Ruben Diablo, the Padres navigate this with Adam Mazur on the mound. How long do they allow Adam Mazur to go? Who do they bring in after Adam Mazur? And it will depend probably on how long Mazur goes. But it's a tough lineup. I mean, Gunnar Henderson is one of the MVP finalists if the season ended today. 935 OPS, 63 RBI, 28 homers already this season out of the leadoff spot. One of the best shortstops in baseball. You think of shortstops in baseball right now, and at least like the young, exciting, you think of Gunnar Henderson and you think of Bobby Witt Jr. Ellie De La Cruz you could throw in there too, but I think of Gunnar and Bobby. Like those are the 2 guys that I think right off the bat. Then they have Adley. There's some guys I believe that are on the IL, but Santander was, I think, mentioned at least in the offseason among maybe someone the Padres might want to go after before they signed Profar, and then Profar ended up turning into the Padres' most valuable player so far this year. Just because Santander, I don't believe he has very much more years left. It might be his last year actually on in a contract with the Baltimore Orioles. So it did make a little bit sense of a fit. But the Orioles, they're also trying to win. So I think they want that depth unless they get blown away by a deal. And that obviously didn't happen during the offseason. So Santander, 831 OPS. They've got Westberg, who's young, Kierstad, who's young, Kowser, who's young. There's talent there. They've got Cedric Mullins as well. Now, bullpen-wise, I think their bullpen's been a little bit shaky. I saw the other day Craig Kimbrell blew something for him. So, maybe try to get to this bullpen. Grayson Rodriguez, I'll pull up his game logs here. 3.83 ERA, 120 punch out so far this year, 18 starts. Recently, so his last time, 6 innings, 2 runs. Outing before that, 5 innings, 6 earned runs. Outing before that, 6 innings, 3 runs. Outing before that, 6 1/3, no runs. Outing before that, 7 innings, 2 runs. So, for the most part, he's going to give the Orioles length. So I feel like the Orioles, they have this advantage going into tonight's matchup over Adam Mazur. But it's baseball. We've seen where, these matchups going in, you think something's going to happen and one team should win based on that. But then bullpens collapse or that starter that's not expected to do a whole lot ends up performing well. Randy Vasquez against the Nats, I was not expecting him to go 6 shutout innings like he did. So things can happen. This Padres team, the good news is they're playing well. I know it's the Orioles and they're a good team, but the Padres, they're playing well right now. 5 wins in a row. Obviously, just came off the no hitter. Want to see a little more from the offense, but offense can be had at Camden Yards. Manny's coming back. Obviously, he's already been back, but he's back in Baltimore during this weekend. And a couple of cool storylines. Mike Schilt, his favorite player is Cal Ripken Jr. That's why Schilt wears number 8. And I believe this is the first time that he's going to get to manage at Camden Yards as a big league manager. And he was working in the clubhouse when Cal Ripken was with Double A Charlotte, I believe. Ripken was like 18 years old at the time. Schilt was young. Um, and so he got to see Cal Ripken Jr.'s work ethic, stay early or come in early, stay late, that sort of thing. Pregame work every day. And he liked that about Cal, and that was his favorite player. So Schilt gets to wear number 8 at Camden Yards, managing against the Baltimore Orioles. Um, the team that Cal Ripken Jr. now part owns. So I think that's a cool story. And then Jackson Merrill returning to his home. He grew up in Maryland. High school, Severna Park, I believe, was the high school. It's like a 40 minute drive to Camden Yards. So pretty close. Last time I read like 500 people are going to be in attendance. Jackson Merrill just bought a suite for his family and friends because there was going to be too many people. So they're going to have a suite. So this should be a memorable weekend for that family. And I wouldn't be too surprised if Jackson Merrill comes up big this weekend in Baltimore. That Boston series, he came up big. It just seems like he lives for those moments. So Jackson Merrill, for me, is the guy to watch. Lineup is out for the Padres. Arise is back, DHing. Profar's in left. Crony's at first. Manny's at third. Bogarts is at second. He's hitting well, coming off of the IL. Merrill's in center. Peralta is in right. Kim at short. And Campy is catching. Is it just me, or are we seeing a little bit more of Campy catching? It feels like it's a little bit more. This is just the eye test. I haven't looked at it. But it feels like it's a little bit more even. And I think it's partly because they're seeing positive things from Campy offensively at the plate. So that's good. And then David Peralta in right. You're going to see David Peralta play because Grayson Rodriguez obviously is the righty. I think Kramer is a righty as well. He's going tomorrow. So I wouldn't expect to see too much of Bryce Johnson based on those pitching matchups. But yeah, those are some of my pregame thoughts. If you have any pregame thoughts, feel free to leave them in the comments. Padres Orioles going to get underway a little bit after 4 o'clock Pacific time.